coming near the end of our weapons making process. Hopefully your weapon looks something like this. The next part is going to be applying the latex. You can buy your latex online or you can buy it at the craft store like I did. We'll be applying 5 coats of this latex. Now each coat takes about 2 hours to dry. So if you do not have that much time, you could also use a hair dryer to dry the latex, although I do not recommend it because the result is not predictable. We will be applying about 5 coats of this latex with like a throwaway brush like this, really cheap to obtain. I do not want to put on a second coat of latex until your first coat has dried. Again, this is the part that will probably take the longest, and you will probably want to do this through the span of a couple days. So let's go ahead and get started. Now what I'm doing here is very simple. I am just applying the latex coat number 1 on the pommel and on the crossguard. Now if you are making a full latex sword, you can go ahead and put latex all over your entire blade as well. But I will be making a cloth cover for the end of the sword, so I will not be putting on latex for the entire sword. Although what you would want to do is you want to cover parts of the blade with this latex as well. That will reinforce the strength of your sword. So this is coat number 1. Okay, now we gotta wait till the whole entire thing dries before we can put on another layer. I'm putting the second layer on. Okay, and that's the second layer. Again, if you want to make a full latex sword, go ahead and paint this whole thing, including the striking surface. Now we're gonna wait till it dry and get the third surface. Alright, so I've got about 5 to 6 layers of this liquid latex painted on my weapon. As you can see from the crossguard and the pommel, what the latex does is it's a nice thin coating that covers over your entire foam. This way it increases the durability of your actual weapon itself. As you can see, I painted most of the blade as well, but I did not cover any of the striking surfaces with the latex. This is because I will be constructing a cloth cover that go over the entire weapon. Most groups out there do not allow weapons that aren't cloth covered, so that is why I did not cover the striking surface with latex. But check with your group, because if your group allows latex weapons or just weapons that do not need a cloth cover, you can actually paint the striking surface as well, which makes it paintable, so you can forego the entire cloth process. Okay, so now we're ready on to the next part. The next part is pretty self-explanatory. This is the painting process. The painting is obviously up to you what color you choose. In terms of paint, you can choose either watercolor or a acrylic kind of paint. Just make sure that it is water-based and not oil-based, because oil-based paint would actually eat your foam away. So just get some acrylic paint or watercolor. I recommend acrylic because they're easier to work with. So just paint your weapon whatever color that you would like, and after the paint has dried, you want to paint the entire weapon with one thin layer of latex. Again, what that final layer of latex will do is it will actually protect your paint from being rubbed off. Alright, so I finished painting my crossguard and my pommel. After I finished painting it, I also coated it with one last layer of latex. Now once you got your last layer of latex on, you want to finish your latex with something called varnish. There are many different products that you can use to finish your sword. Professionals use something called Isoflex primer. It's costly and it's hard to obtain. There's also many different products for you to finish it, but I use varnish. And what the varnish will do is if you put 2 or 3 layers of it, it will give it a nice shiny finish, and it will make it so your latex doesn't stick to other latex product and to itself. So again, we want to put 2 to 3 layers of that varnish on top of your weapons. And once we've finished that, we just have a few things left to do. So let's go on to making your